Welcome, everyone. If I could ask our attendants to take a seat if we have one, and we have standing room only for our crowd. The first new construction in a generation, or 30 years, will change the east side of Dakota State University campus. More importantly, the site behind me will impact learning for current and future generations of DSU students. Welcome to the DSU campus. My name is Stacy Kruzmark. I'm the Vice President for Business and Administrative Services here, and I'm very honored to be the MC for today's evening, or for the events. The area you see behind me was a parking lot just 3 weeks ago. At this time next year, the Beacom Institute of Technology will be near completion and ready for the fall 2017 academic year. When finished, this facility, with an investment of $11.4 million from private donors and from the Higher Ed Facility Fund, will be a resource for the entire university. Every on-campus student will have the opportunity to collaborate on projects, to participate in classes, in seminars, and to attend special events in the Beacom Institute of Technology. Today's short program includes comments from 4 speakers. Seated to my right, they will be introduced individually later on in the program. Following the celebration, I invite you all to a reception that will be held in the plaza just south of the Habiger Science Center. Today's guests include several people who share a vested interest in the public higher education in Dakota State University, in Madison, and in this particular project. They include First Lady Linda Daugaard, Lisa Beacom, members of the South Dakota Board of Regents and the Board of Regents staff, presidents and the superintendent from the South Dakota Board of Regents institutions, State Senator Scott Parsley of Madison, State Representative Leslie Heineman of Flandreau, Mayor Roy Lindsay, Darren Haig, John Reiser, and Randy Connect from Journey Group, the construction manager for this project, Mike Jameson and Chase Kramer from TSP, the architectural firm, members of the DSU Foundation Board of Trustees, members of the DSU Alumni Association Board of Directors, leaders of the Madison community, DSU's first dude, Don King, and faculty and staff of Dakota State University. Additionally, we have a rambunctious group in the back of over 200 participants in our Gen Cyber Camp. Some of whom, or I should say many of whom, will be students in this building sometime in the near future. Thank you all for celebrating with us. 14 months ago, the South Dakota Board of Regents chose Dr. Yosei Marie Griffith as the next president for Dakota State University. She brought with her decades of exceptional achievements in higher education, teaching, research, and administration. She also brought with her a clear appreciation for DSU's past, energy and enthusiasm to animate DSU's present, and engagement and vision to move us toward the future success of DSU. When Dr. Griffiths first arrived on campus, one of the issues she needed to lead the institution through was the location of this site and the building it would soon contain. She encouraged all to think thoroughly through the potential impact of this pivotal addition to DSU extended community. And DSU selected this site based on that preferred future. Dr. Griffiths has continued to articulate the importance of this building for DSU's progress. She would like to share a few of those thoughts with you now. Please welcome Dr. Yosei Marie Griffiths, President of Dakota State University.
Thank you, Stacy. Good afternoon, and welcome to this celebration of what is a true milestone in the life and progress of Dakota State University. Today, we have the wonderful opportunity to celebrate the old and the new, remember the past, and look into the future, all without moving from where we sit, or stand, for those of you at the back. Ralph Waldo Emerson said that the old and the new are the warp and the woof that weave through our every moment, the threads that cross our todays and tomorrows, And for just a moment, I'd like you to think about a few of those threads. I'd like you to turn your attention to East Hall, and I'd like you to imagine another group of people, much like ourselves, though likely wearing far different clothing, standing not far from here, also celebrating the planned construction of a new building. But the year was 1901, 115 years ago, and the building was beautiful East Hall, still standing before us. I'd like you to imagine what it must have been like to be one of those people in 1901. From that perspective, I'd like you to think about the rest of the campus. Do you think that any of those people standing here in 1901 could have imagined what would transpire and grow to become what we now know as Dakota State University 2016? Do you think they could possibly, in their mind's eye, see all the students who would walk across this campus, the faculty who would teach them, the staff who would keep the place running, the athletes who would compete under its banner, the donors who would support it, or the community of Madison who would host it? Do you think any of them imagined any of us? I doubt it. Come back to the present, and together we can look into the future. The Beacom Institute of Technology is a result of the 135 years of this university's history and a door to its future. We are here because of those who came before us. We are here for those who will come after us. And most especially, we are here because of the generosity of three very special and giving individuals, Miles and Lisa Beacom and Denny Sanford, who was unable to join us today. We are all indebted to these three individuals for their gifts that are opening this door to all who are and who will be Dakota State University. So thank you, Miles and Lisa and Denny. Denny, you might be out there on YouTube, and if you are, we greet you. This university, past, present, and future, thanks you. So why is this building so important? Why is this such a milestone? Because the Beacom Institute of Technology, as I said a moment ago, opens a door to all of us and to this university. Because of this building, DSU will be able to move forward in fulfilling our mission to prepare young people for careers in technology-intensive and technology-infused fields. We will be able to provide DSU students access to the hardware and software and networking and collaborations and instruction they need in order to prepare for their careers. DSU will make it possible for them to contribute in their communities and in the world for years ahead. Faculty will have the classrooms and lab and equipment they need to teach in ways that facilitate learning for the young adults of today and tomorrow. Because of this building, DSU will soon have a powerful visual statement for everyone who arrives at this campus on Washington Avenue. East Hall on the one side of the street and the Beacom Institute on the other. That DSU has both heritage and signature missions. That we honor our past and link it to the future, a trajectory of impact that we're working to ensure continues long into the future. Because of this building, DSU faculty, students, staff, and visitors will all benefit, many in ways we may never know about. But I know it's fair to say that this Beacom Institute of Technology is going to make a difference in the well-being of everyone who walks through its doors. Not long ago, the UK government launched a project called Foresight, and a large aspect of it was to identify how physical spaces, most especially buildings, positively or negatively impact the well-being of people. They established that the notion of well-being consists of two key elements: functioning well and feeling good. And they identified 5 different ways in which buildings can contribute to well-being. And I'm happy to report that the Beacom Institute fulfills every single one of them. The first factor the researchers identified is that to improve our well-being, we must have opportunities to connect with others. They found that everyday public spaces, especially facilities at public universities, create opportunities for people to connect. They become a significant source of well-being for individuals on campus, as well as the wider community in which the institution is located. And I'm excited that not only will this building create opportunities for the DSU community, it will also create opportunities for our wonderful host community of Madison and the people and organizations of the great state of South Dakota. Secondly, the UK researchers established that we need spaces designed to increase our activity, to encourage us to move around and interact. They found that convenient and proximate access to other resources, walkability, and creating attractive experiences along circulation routes, like having views and daylight and trees and art, all increase our well-being. The Beacom Institute not only provides all of that in itself, but it will also provide visual and functional linkages with the rest of the campus and will create a much-needed campus connection for the campus buildings on both sides of Washington. We hear a lot about the importance of mindfulness these days, of being observant of the moment we're in, and so it's not surprising that the UK project identified it as the third characteristic of a building that improves our well-being. The Beacom Institute building provides the diverse types of open space, aesthetically pleasing areas, and comfortable and flexible gathering places that encourage mindfulness and in turn improve our well-being. To me, one of the most interesting factors the UK researchers identified was that when it comes to our intellectual well-being, the physical environment in which instruction takes place has strong mediating variables that influence intellectual development. There is documented evidence that open areas with unobstructed eye contact between students and teachers, as well as flexible configurations of learning spaces, contribute in major ways to successful learning. And the Beacom Institute design has these characteristics. The final characteristic the UK researchers identified is that when our physical environment encourages and facilitates our giving to others, giving of ourselves, of our ideas, of our presence, of our knowledge, they found that without a doubt, altruistic behavior is more prevalent in physical spaces that are inviting, collaborative, accessible, innovative, aesthetically pleasing, and of high quality. And the Beacom Institute will be all of these. In the same way that people in this community stood here 115 years ago and marveled at the potential being created before them, we also can marvel at what has brought us to this day and all that will be before us because of what will be constructed on this site over the next months. We can look at magnificent East Hall on one side and look forward to the day not far in the future when we'll be able to look on this side of the street and see the marvelous Beacom Institute of Technology. I don't know about you, but I feel deeply honored to be one of the people standing here today, at this time, in this place, for this event. We're blessed. I like the saying that new things are like poems and old things are like alphabets. Poems are beautiful and we use the alphabet to read them. East Hall, the Beacom Institute of Technology. We look forward to the poem as we continue to use the alphabet. Welcome to the gateway to the future of Dakota State University. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Griffiths. 8 appointed citizens and a student govern the body of the Higher Education Board of Regents. The state South Dakota Board of Regents sets policies for the 6 public universities and its special schools, approves academic programs, and validates more than 6,600 degrees annually. The board also reviews the programming goals and the facility plans for each new building on university campuses. The last time Dakota State University celebrated construction of a new academic building on our campus, the board leader was a student here. Today, he brings comments on behalf of the South Dakota Board of Regents. Please welcome the president of the Board of Regents, DSU alumni, Randy Schaefer.
Thank you, Stacy. For those of you that know me and know my academic background, that covers a lot of years, so it's hard to say when exactly what you were talking about there. But anyway, I do want to thank Stacy for the introduction, and on behalf of the Board of Regents, I'd like to thank Governor Daugaard and Miles Beacom for speaking here today. Also, thank you, President Griffiths, for your words, and to the terrific people here from DSU, I see them all over, for hosting us this week and for all the work you did to put on this fantastic event. Back back to what Stacy was mentioning, some of you know that Miles and I went to college together right here. Since we don't have a couple hours, and since this is probably not the right time and place, I'm going to pass on those stories, Miles. We're both better off there, I think. But it has been since about the time that Miles and I graduated from Dakota State College that this university added a new academic footprint to campus. Fast forward, kind of the beginning of the building that we're here to celebrate today. In May of 2012, the Regents approved our new 10-year building plan, which did include this new, or a new, information systems building here at DSU. It was to be a $10 million building, about half funded by what we call HEF, or the Higher Education Facilities Fund, and the other half coming from private funds which had not been identified yet. So again, May of 2012. Now move on to June of 2013. Those private funds had not yet been raised, and suddenly we were trying to figure out how we were going to buy a new or an old hospital. So we had kind of two things, big things. We knew that we had to do both here somehow, but we were really grasping, and it's honestly safe to say that we were looking at all options for this information systems building that we approved back in 2012. So I don't know, you could say maybe it's like the true Trojan on a horse came riding in, and it's Miles Beacom. He approached with this gift and his vision for this new signature academic building that really will highlight what we are and what we will be here at DSU. So Miles and Lisa, I speak for the Regents, and I speak for DSU alumni all over the world, and friends of DSU all over the world, and I speak for our community in saying thank you, Miles and Lisa, and thank you to Mr. Denny Sanford, of course, for your $5 million gift. That gift is the largest gift in the history of Dakota Normal School, Madison State Normal School, Eastern State Normal School, Eastern State Teachers College, General Beadle State College, Dakota State College, and now Dakota State University. So whatever you call us, thank you. It's the biggest gift this campus has ever received. Your gift will forever change. The Beacom Institute of Technology will forever change the landscape here at DSU and in Madison. And most importantly, it will provide the best place for students like these to live, study, and thrive so that they can leave here and make the world a better place. Thank you.
Thank you, Regent Safer. This building is becoming a reality because Dakota State University alumnus has taken a leadership position. Miles Beacom was known for his drive as an outstanding runner on the Trojan cross country and track teams. His distinguished career in the financial services sector started weeks after he completed his bachelor's degree in business. His drive toward excellence has been evident in subsequent years. Premier Bankcard had only 8 employees when he returned to Sioux Falls as its CEO in 1993. Today, about 3,000 people work for Premier Bankcard across South Dakota. The company is among the largest in the nation of an issuer of MasterCard or Visa cards. Miles Beacom and his wife Lisa have been devoted supporters of this university. When complete, the Beacom Institute of Technology will be the most obvious sign of their benevolence. They also have funded numerous scholarships and a matching program recently to build the foundation endowment that benefits students. Please welcome DSU distinguished alumnus and a driving force behind the first new construction project on this campus in 30 years, Miles Beacom.
Stacy, did I really do all those things? Thank you. I think we need a few thank yous. The first is to the Board of Regents, and that's for their ongoing support of Dakota State, as well as their support for this new facility. So let's give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. And then a huge thank you to President Griffith. She jumped in to the presidency with incredible enthusiasm and excitement, and that's been contagious for her entire team. And you see the results, the things that are exciting that are going on here at Dakota State. She and her husband Don have already made a significant impact to this university as well, so thank you for that. And we are truly blessed to have you leading this university, so thank you. And then a nice surprise with and a thank you to Governor Daugaard and the First Lady of South Dakota. With their schedule as tight as it is and as busy as they are, to take the time to come here to celebrate this groundbreaking, I think is a pretty special event, so thank you very much. And I wouldn't be up here if it wasn't for the premier team. And Denny Sanford, Bob Van Leer, Dave Geever, Mike Halverson, Sandy Soylan. We have Elliot Brookman, just a large group of DSU alums that are here that are part of the premier organization, and a real key for our success. It's not me, it's the team that we have. So let's give the premier team a thank you. And then, of course, I have to thank my mother. If it wasn't for her and my father, I wouldn't be here, so thanks, Mom. And the thing with my parents, they taught me to dream and to chase those dreams and to believe in yourself, so thanks, Mom, love you. And then to my much older brother, Dan. He's an alum of this university, part of the class of 1979, if you're wondering. And he also is the one that talked me into coming to Dakota State. So thanks, Dan. Last but not least, I need to thank my girlfriend, my partner, my best friend, and she's also my wife. And her name is Lisa, and she continues to be a huge supporter of not only me, but of Dakota State. So thanks, honey. And I think one of the things that really keeps her supporting Dakota State is she is amazed at what Dakota State was able to do with me. And to be perfectly honest, I'm amazed as well. So next year will mark 40 years since I walked onto this campus for the first time. That's a long time ago, and it seems like yesterday. Well, I fell in love with this campus when I walked on it, and the community of Madison. And people say, why? Look around. It's the people. It's the faculty. It's the staff. It's the coaches, fellow students, and the employees of the people of this community welcomed the students with open arms. This is a very, very special community. So this community needs a big round of applause as well. Thank you. Well, DSU provided me the tools to be successful, the tools to chase those dreams, and this new facility will be a dream come true for a lot of people. Dakota State will now have a state-of-the-art facility to continue to give better tools to the students. And with that, those students will continue to dream and continue to be more successful in the future because of that. This facility will help Dakota State continue to attract the best and the brightest students, as well as the best and brightest faculty as well. This is not only great for Dakota State, this addition is great for the community of Madison, and it's great for the state of South Dakota. Special thank you to all of you that have helped make this day this dream become a reality. I cannot wait to celebrate with each of you next year when we have the ribbon cutting ceremony for this new facility. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Miles, and thank you, Lisa. Thousands of students will benefit from your generosity. Our final speaker today, South Dakota is known for its natural resources, for its hunting, its fishing, its strong agricultural industry, and for the work ethic and congeniality of its residents. Beyond the state's borders, South Dakota is known for its business-friendly environment and its enviable bond rating. That reputation has been shaped by policy, by practice, and success. And the reputation continues to gain strength because of its state's #1 champion, who lives in the governor's mansion. Please welcome the Honorable Dennis Daugaard, Governor of the great state of South Dakota.
Thank you, Stacy. Good morning. No, sit down, sit down. Thank you. And welcome, Jen Cyber. Are you having a good time? Yeah. All right. Now, this guy, he's having a great time. You, good time. Him, great time. It's good to be back at Dakota State University. I remember my first visits as a high schooler. I was here for band contests. I played the French horn in band, and our band instructor would get us prepared to play our prepared piece, and then we always had to be nervous about the sight reading because they would present, we'd play our band song or a presentation that we had rehearsed and we were ready to play, and then after we did that, they would pass out the music for a song we would never have seen before, and we just had to play it the first time. And then we also had quartets and solos, and it was great to be at Dakota State back in those days, and it's great to see the changes that have occurred in the years since then. Back in those days, though, when I was in high school, about 17% of Americans had a 4-year degree. Just 17%. The world's changed now. Today, around 32%, almost twice as many, and if you include associate's degrees, 42% of young people go on from high school and achieve a degree. And that's good, because today, more than ever before, it's important for young people to continue their education beyond high school. Today's global economy requires a more highly skilled workforce. And Dakota State is a university that takes student preparation seriously. Those of you here at Gen Cyber, be aware that if you graduate from Dakota State University and you're like last year's class, 95% of last year's class had jobs. That is very, very good. It's clear Dakota State University is equipping students with the education and the skills they need to enter the workforce. And it's a competitive job market. Dakota State University particularly excels where South Dakota needs more workers in the area of information technology and the sciences. And you do that here by providing students the opportunity to work with the best and the latest technology. It's because of Dakota State's forward thinking, things like Gen Cyber camps, things like having the right technology, things like the Beacom Institute of Technology, that you've been recognized. Dakota State has been recognized by entities like the National Security Agency of the United States government and U.S. News and World Report as an exceptional place for information technology. And now, the Beacom Institute of Technology will help Dakota State University continue that tradition of excellence. The new 31,000 square foot facility will house, as was mentioned, classrooms, technology labs, a collaboration space, a performance space. It's going to become an impressive and important feature of this campus. And let's talk about how important that is. If you think about South Dakota, we're a small state, a state of less than 1 million people. We have an impressive number, though, of institutions of higher education. We have 6 publicly supported state universities, like Dakota State Universities. We have 4 technical institutes as well, and we have a number of good private colleges and universities. Now in South Dakota, we believe in letting people keep more of their hard-earned money. We have no personal income tax, no corporate income tax, and there's only a few states that can say that. And among those few, you look at their sales tax, which is our major source of revenue, we're still, aside from Wyoming, which has a 4% tax, with our 4.5% tax, the lowest in the nation. So as a state, we make do with relatively little. There are many states that are smaller than us: Wyoming, Montana, Alaska, Vermont, a number of states. None of them have a smaller budget than we do. North Dakota spends about $1 billion more than we do. Wyoming spends about $3 billion, $3.5 billion, almost twice, more than twice than we do, as much as we do. In fact, we have the smallest general fund budget in the nation, except for New Hampshire, little New Hampshire. So in a state that, like that, with a small budget and a small income stream and a constitutional mandate to balance our budget, we have to live within our means. And through my time as governor, I've tried to live within our means. In fact, as was mentioned by Stacy, we just achieved a AAA rating by the third credit rating agency in the United States. All three now have given us their top rating because they know we take care of business. We manage our budget and we're careful. And even though investing in South Dakota's 6 public universities is among our highest priorities, we have limited resources. And that's why new state-of-the-art facilities are sometimes things we want and need, but can't afford without help. We need private donors willing to help us. And that's why it's so important that alumni and businesses and individuals enter into public-private partnerships with the state to help make wonderful state-of-the-art facilities like this one that's going to be built right behind me a reality. Today we're here because of those key individuals who are willing to do just that. DSU alum Miles Beacom and his wife Lisa, and Denny Sanford, who stepped forward and gave generously, as you heard, in order to make this center a reality, even as Dakota State was swallowing the purchase of the hospital building adjacent to the campus. So through their generosity, the construction of this facility is a reality, and we're on the cusp of it. And through their generosity, Dakota State will not just be today's leader of information technology, but tomorrow's as well. On behalf of everyone in the state of South Dakota, Miles and Lisa and Denny, wherever you are, thank you so much. We're so very grateful. Let's give them a standing ovation. Lisa and Miles, thank you so much. Lisa's mom won't, or Miles' mom won't stand. She doesn't think he's that great. Just kidding, just kidding. Thank you, Miles. Thank you, Lisa.
All right, thank you, Governor. And now I'd ask Governor and First Lady Daugaard, Miles and Lisa Beacom, Dr. Rush and Regent Randy Schaefer, Dr. Griffith, Darren Haig and Mike Jamison, if you would please make your way to the official groundbreaking site, which is right around the corner. Careful down the steps, please. And this is where I'll need the audience participation, especially those of you who have been standing for a few minutes in the back. I want to make sure I hear you. We are going to do a countdown as they begin the official groundbreaking. right, is our construction crew ready? Audience, would you join with me? We'll do a 5 countdown. Ready? 5, 4. All right. That officially concludes our celebration ceremony. Please join us for the reception located on the plaza outside the Habiger Science Center just to the south.